Hello. Welcome back to That's English.
Oh, yes. Hello again.
I've just bought a new piece of art. It's a sculpture.
Is it? What's it supposed to be?
It's not supposed to be anything. It's an abstract piece of art. It's in the style of abstract expressionism.
Sorry?
You know, it's emotional and abstract. You've heard of abstract expressionism, haven't you?
No.
It was an art movement that started in New York in the 1940s. Look, here's an example.
I see.
Well, today's episode is about art. Bill has some new art in the cafe.
Is it abstract expressionism or something more classical? Something I can understand?
Let's find out.
Yes. In this episode, Laura goes to an art gallery with Ben. They meet Christian there.
So, here's our question. How do Laura and Christian know each other?
One herbal tea.
Thanks, Bill. What fantastic pictures. I really like them.
Do you? I think they're surprisingly good, but Laura hates them passionately. They were painted by a local artist.
I think they're appalling. They're so simplistic. There's no depth.
Isn't there?
You see?
They were clearly painted by an amateur. He doesn't understand the medium.
Don't you think so?
I'm actually surprised Bill wants to exhibit them.
They look all right to me.
I much prefer abstract expressionism.
That's interesting.
There's an amazing exhibition in the Duke Street Gallery.
Is there?
It's on until the end of next week. Would you like to come with me next Thursday?
I'd love to.
I could tell you something about modern art.
How fantastic. And then afterwards I could buy you a drink at the Royal Oak pub.
Okay.
Or even a meal.
Most of the paintings here are abstract expressionist.
Are they?
What do you think of this one?
How ugly. What's it supposed to be?
It's not supposed to be anything. It symbolises the relationship between art and illusion.
You're joking. You know, I think I'd rather look at classical paintings.
Would you? But modern art is so exciting. Look at this painting. It's stunning and incredibly expressive.
I prefer proper pictures. Who's the guy that painted horses and dogs?
George Stubbs?
Yeah, I like him. And that Spanish painter, Velázquez? I saw a film about him once. What an awful picture.
I love it.
Oh, really? It looks like some paint has been thrown at the canvas without any thought at all.
There's a kind of rhythm to it. It's very moving. It reminds me of an early Jackson Pollock.
An early what?
Jackson Pollock. He was one of the most famous painters of the 20th century.
Was he?
What an extraordinary painting. Can you see how the lines have been drawn very precisely at the top, but much more freely here at the bottom? That's astonishing, isn't it? How did it make you feel?
It makes me feel like I prefer to be in the Royal Oak. They've got great beer.
Hi, Laura.
Christian, what a surprise. I haven't seen you since art school.
I'm exhibiting here at the gallery.
Wow, how wonderful. This is a friend of mine, Ben.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. How nice.
I don't think Laura and Ben have the same taste in art, do you?
No, but it seems that Laura and Christian do. So, did you get the answer to our question?
How do Laura and Christian know each other?
Christian! Christian, what a surprise. I haven't seen you since art school.
Laura and Christian met at art school.
I expect they have a lot in common if they studied art together.
In the video, we saw people expressing interest or disinterest by asking short questions. Let's see how people show interest.
There's an amazing exhibition in the Duke Street Gallery.
Is there?
Is there? The intonation rises at the end of the question. Now listen to Bill.
What fantastic pictures. I really like them.
Do you?
Notice how we use auxiliary verbs like do, have and be to form the questions.
Annabelle, I think you know a lot about art.
Do you?
When we're not interested, the intonation falls at the end of the question. Watch.
Most of the paintings here are abstract expressionist.
Are they?
Are they? Ben's not very interested in abstract expressionism.
So we use intonation with short questions to show we're interested or not interested.
Do we?
As Ashley is now demonstrating.
Only joking, Annabelle. We also heard people expressing admiration. Watch.
What fantastic pictures. How fantastic.
And expressing disgust. Watch.
What do you think of this one?
How ugly. What an awful picture.
So we use how and what with adjectives to express admiration and disgust. Hey, Anita, what do you think of my new sculpture?
Oh, wow. How amazing. What brilliant lines.
You see, Annabelle? Anita likes it.
I didn't say I didn't like it, Ashley. I just think that, like Ben, I prefer classical art. Oh, what a stupid conversation.
Let's see if Laura can change Ben's opinion on the exhibition in part 2 of the video.
And see if you can answer our question. Why did Declan Myers give Bill the paintings?
Well, it's lovely to see you again, Christian.
Yes, it's been nice meeting you, Christian. See you again sometime.
Would you like to see my latest piece of art?
We'd love to see it, but Laura and I have got to go now.
I'd prefer to stay and see Christian's work.
It's just through here. What do you think?
What an incredibly beautiful picture. You very cleverly managed to express a sort of mystical abstraction. I knew at art school that you had a special talent.
What do you think, Ben?
It reminds me of a late Jackson Pollock.
Really? Does it?
There is a rhythm to the painting that is astonishing and very moving.
Ben!
Sorry. Shall we go to the pub now? I'll buy you a meal.
Maybe Laura would like to meet Sophie, the curator of the exhibition. She knows everyone in the art world.
Well, I told Ben earlier that I would go for a drink with him.
Yes, a very unpretentious steak and kidney pie is waiting patiently for you at the pub.
What a shame. Sophie is a friend of Tracy Emin, and she recently worked on one of Damien Hirst's sculptures. She'd love to meet you.
Oh, really? Well, if you don't mind, Ben, I'd rather stay.
Of course, that's fine, Laura. Enjoy your arty friends. I'm going home.
How was the gallery?
Awful. I don't understand art. I'll never understand it. But I like these pictures.
Me too. I prefer this one, but they're both good. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, I like these paintings. Aren't
They by Declan Myers?
Yes. He's a local art student. He came to eat here a few months ago, and he didn't have any money, so he gave me a couple of small paintings instead.
No. How incredible. Well, the art critic of the Times newspaper said yesterday that Declan Myers is the best new artist of his generation.
Looks like Bill has got some really good art.
Yes, and it will probably be really valuable one day.
So why did Declan Myers give Bill the paintings? Watch.
He came to eat here a few months ago, and he didn't have any money, so he gave me a couple of small paintings instead.
How lucky.
So Declan Myers gave Bill the paintings because he didn't have any money to pay for his food. In the video, we heard people expressing preference. Watch.
I prefer to stay and see Christian's work. Well, if you don't mind, Ben, I'd rather stay.
For example, Annabelle would prefer to see classical sculpture.
And you would rather see abstract art. We also heard people describing actions using adverbials and adverbial phrases. Watch.
Well, I told Ben earlier that I would go for a drink with him.
Yes, a very unpretentious steak and kidney pie is waiting patiently for you at the pub.
What a shame. Sophie is a friend of Tracy Emin, and she recently worked on one of Damien Hirst's sculptures.
To describe what is happening in more detail, we use an adverbial. For example, waiting patiently or recently worked.
Yes, and I am seriously thinking about buying more art.
Are you?
Let's see what types of art other people like best.
Yes, let's listen to people's answers to the following question. What is your favourite type of art?
I'd have to say music.
I'm kind of a classical person when it comes to art appreciation. Monet, Manet, Gauguin, all the classical impressionists would probably be my favorite type of painted art.
Not great into the arts. I mean, music is obviously one of my passions, but other than that, not really much into the arts.
I like modern art. I like sculpture.
My favourite type of art, I'd probably say it would have to be kind of pictures, actually. I'd have to say more photographs more than actual paintings myself.
I would say architecture, if that is considered art. I love going around places and looking at some architecture and taking photos of those. I think it's more interesting than taking pictures of people. I don't know too much about architects, but recently I was in Barcelona before my surgery, and Gaudi was very interesting. I like the park.
I like all different forms of art. From sculptures to paintings.
I like music and I like Bollywood songs.
I do like a lot of variety of art, especially from Asia, and a lot of classical British artists.
How interesting that people were talking about music, photography and architecture, as well as paintings and sculpture.
Yes, and I agree with the person who liked the Gaudi architecture in Barcelona. It's stunning.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we've got time for today. See you soon.
Yes, goodbye.